thought I'd try and show you what I actually do here. I got this bit of cardboard up in the corner to try and protect the lining, but this, as you can see, it's not an easy turn. If I could get my torque meter in there, I'd show you, but not room for that. Yeah, so here it sounds like it's grinding away in there, and I'm hoping that eventually it will erode away enough that the bolt will come out. And after about that much time, I'm starting to get hot, because well, it was hot to start with, but exercising in the heat, that's where it really gets hot. And as for why, well, if I turn on the interlock there, turn on the ignition, I'm hoping that means that the lift pump for the fuel is on, and if I let that run for a while, maybe, no. So there you go, we're not likely to start by the sound of that, but I'll leave it on there for a little bit longer just in case the lift pump is still trying to lift fuel. No, well, you can see why I think I need to get a battery charger on it, because that isn't going to continue like that. It's pretty good the battery has lasted this long, because I've done this trying to start a number of times. Yeah, well, I might as well turn that off and turn off the interlock and give it a couple more cranks. Okay, and now I'm getting hot, so it's time to stop. We had 1.5 millimeters of rain yesterday afternoon, which probably barely enough to wet the gutters, but we're still at 13,000 litres. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it in the distance. There's machinery working on the tile road. I'll have to go down there and have another look sometime, see what's happening. Those of you who have watched all the videos will have seen this light fitting on the cable between our house and Dadang's house, which was installed on a light sensor long ago, and that was there to provide light out the back here. It went up before the shed was constructed and before Lizu's back patio was constructed, but rain infiltrated it and it progressively ceased to work. Now, by the look of that, some attempt has been made to get that down. I'm hoping we can continue that and I can take it away and see if I can make it work. But I suspect it might have been attempted to take it down so it can be used here. That's the one that I set up to use in the service pit over there, but they grabbed that last night to provide illumination for the back of got these in his patio because there's party work going on. This is annual celebration of Jabita's father's demise. That, by my calculation, would have been over 30 years ago now. So lots of cooking went on yesterday and it's continuing today. Lots of water there, wonder what that's about. But yeah, so it's a bit noisy again, which is chronic for both back home. It was originally planned that the back kitchen of our house and the back patio could be used for these cook-ups, but the people around here don't like doors apparently. They consider the effort of opening and closing that outside door and that outside door too taxing, so they don't want to come in here and cook, so they prefer to stay outside with the bugs. Yeah, well, it's heavy going. It's not just spinning a nut. There's far too much torque required to turn it to say it's spinning a nut. Probably shouldn't use my good spline sockets with the impact wrench. I use the impact socket. 18mm, I discovered. Okay, that's on. And away we go. Get in there. No, that doesn't go down far enough on it. It's just sitting there trying to round it off. The spline one gets much better grip. So I better stick with that. Come on, get in there. Get on there, you run wrong. That's it. Oops, nearly dropped my glasses. Okay. So you're on. rounded it off. Okay. The only way forward from here is to cut, which I guess we can do. And here we go. I've got my sabre saw or reciprocating saw, what do you want to call it. You go in above the foam on the outside against that bolt. Wow, that's one blade worn smooth, better get another one. Shorter, I wonder if it'll be long enough. The answer is probably not. And there we go. Loose at last. Righto. As you can see, I had some tension on the thing. Righto. Let's see whether we can tilt this thing back. Once I get all the extraneous stuff out. That is supposed to just tilt up on gas thingies. I suspect it's not going to be that easy. Again. Well, interesting. Well, I might just lower it down now. Attempt to lower it down. good as a hoist that can only hoist and not lower. Oh well, I'm getting too hot. That'll be a struggle for another day. Well, there's been positive developments on the compact track loader front. Ezra identified this as the primer pump, so I didn't have to have this open. So I've closed up again now, and we've pumped on that a bit. And still couldn't spot the where the battery was, despite tilting this up a bit. But now we've lowered that back down again. We lowered the 5 tonne one down till we could reach the 1 tonne one because it was stuck, and Ezra managed to get that unstuck. And he said, oh, well, he didn't say, he showed me that there's a mat on the floor inside and a plate under that, which when unbolted revealed a battery underneath, which we put the charger on. So, okay, so it says it's 32 degrees C, 12.84 volts, which is higher than it was, 4.1 amps, it's still charging it. So, shall I give it a bit longer? Now, let's give it a try. Turned off the charger to protect that. Changed the isolator. That was interesting. What happened there? Don't like that. Let's try it again. I wonder if we blew a battery. Let's fuse, I mean. Okay, that wasn't so good. I revved it up a bit and it was blowing a bit of smoke. It seemed like brown smoke out the stack, and then suddenly cut off again. So I might let it charge up again and have Ezra sitting in there looking at the instrumentation next time to see what's happening when it's running. Yeah, let's put the battery charger back on it for now. Give that a couple of hours perhaps. Now it's running, but the controls are not responding. No hydraulics. Although the auxiliary hydraulic pump seems to want to work when you try to turn that on. But there's an interlock somewhere which is preventing anything happening, I think. Well, I turned away and Ezra must have found the magic, because we now have hydraulic function again. He actually moved it back. Well, from what I can make out, you just switch things on and off randomly until eventually it decided to work. But it's working now, so we'll see. Yeah, I still need to get around to ordering a replacement windscreen wiper arms, because that's Too bad. It's just crumbling. And given that water's probably penetrated through there as well, because that's looking pretty loose, may have to replace the wiper motor as well. We'll find out later. It occurs to me that I didn't explain the arc yesterday when I turned off the isolator. Apparently the isolator isolates ground from the chassis, and the red lead, positive lead clamp on the battery charger was connecting to that terminal and was a bit close to the chassis. So when the isolator was turned off, or turned on, depending how you look at it, reconnected the ground to the chassis, which meant that the positive lead arced, or the clamp on the positive terminal arced to the chassis. But that was harmless, just a bit startling. I've been thinking about this thing. If I had my time again, would I have bought this? And the answer is probably not. My thinking originally was that it was a multi-purpose machine which had air conditioning, and since it had air conditioning I would be able to work inside it. While that's true, I'm not really permitted to work much around here. Jabota says you've got all these other people around to do the work for you. You just be the boss. Okay. So for what I spent on this thing, I could have bought a good concrete mixer, possibly a small front end loader backhoe tractor type thing like a Kubota or something, and that would only leave me with needing forks for lifting things that need to be lifted with a set of pallet forks, and possibly that's something you could get with a Kubota as well. And I would add change out of that. The alternative was if Caterpillar hadn't let me down, because the only other vendor of such machines in Indonesia appears to be Caterpillar, and I would have been prepared to spend the extra 50 grand it probably would have cost me to get their unit, but their salespeople are effing hopeless and did not respond to my inquiries. Just too hard, too small, whatever. Because their units are bound to be much better quality than this one. Yeah, and they would have manuals. The biggest problem with this machine is the fact that there isn't a usable manual for it. A manual would have told me where to find the fuel primer. It would have told me where to find the battery. It would tell us maybe how to get the thing to work when the hydraulics seem to be disabled, instead of hitting random buttons. So don't buy a Bomac unless you know what you're doing already and don't need a manual, is what it appears to be the lesson. Now this thing's not getting as much use as I anticipated originally. Its use from here on will probably be using the forks more than anything else, maybe a bit of concrete mixing now and then. I had anticipated there to be more open territory accessible at the back here to use this in, but it's all either fenced off or concreted over or planted with trees now. So we'd have to exit out past the house for this thing and take it up towards the rice factory and then out towards the main road. So anybody want cheap Bomac in Indonesia? It's only got about 137 hours on the clock or something like that. You can see this thing's still got water in it. I'm hoping we can get that down and I can drain the water out and either dry out the tube that's in it and get it working again, because it's a LED tube, or buy a new LED tube that'll work in it. And yeah, but anyway, it's Friday, so time to do an upload. I might be a bit late with the upload next week because I'm going to have guests here and it's going to be a bit of a busy week, so I might be a few days late, but you'll learn more about why in the next video.